there's a strategy that you're trying to prevent the over the top touchdowns and the explosive plays where you're just uh, momentum changers for sure, and you're scoring so many points you'll never catch up. But they got to have the solid kicking. I mean, last week that upright 35, what was it, 35 feet in the air, and it just so
Yeah.
happened it was the professional stadium. And as I understand, it has to go inside. It cannot go above the upright, but that's so difficult to
Mhm.
assess as the official. You're below and you're looking up. That's a tough call.
It is.
You know,
And so, kind of with what we're talking about with the defense, how important is it going to be for Arkansas to keep containment with Bryce Young,
yeah,
keeping him between the tackles and not letting him kill them with their legs?
yeah. You have to have the gap integrity. It's not like you're rushing to a fire when you're
Mhm.
coming upfield. You have to be some type of control and stay in your lane, and you're trying to that corral effect. Three or four people around the quarterback, and where his feet might be getting a little nervous because he sees you coming, but he can't go by you either because you're in the proper position. But Bryce is very good. He's accurate. Alabama doesn't necessarily catch all his passes, so you have to get him into third down and long, where you know that he's going to throw the football. Maybe you come off the edge one time and he doesn't recognize it, or the backside tackle has a breakdown, something like that. But you have to be solid in the kicking game. You have to protect your quarterback. You have to be good on third down, and your quarterback has to have a good game unless you're just running over somebody. I mean, most of the teams that have beaten Alabama, the quarterback, I've seen it, Jason, where they had a career day. Now, I'm not saying Jefferson has to have that type of yardage or moment or historic uh, uh, situation for him, but he has to play well. The quarterback, no, you don't want any turnover. You want your kicker to make everything, let's say, from 45 yards in. Can't miss any of those. And the other team has
Yeah.
to miss them. Now Reichard's been perfect so far. 2 years ago, he had a perfect season, Jason. Made all the field goals. I think it was 14 or 16, and he made every extra point.
Yeah, he
I
was
mean,
incredible.
that was the best season probably a kicker to Alabama. I don't, I've been watching it 50 years. I don't remember any kicker having that type of season at Alabama. Never miss a field goal. Over 10 field goals. I'm not meeting like a handful. I mean, over 10
Yeah.
field goals and all your extra points. I mean, that was phenomenal, and that's what he's been so far. But could come down to that kicking game, because I believe Arkansas, they're hurt right now. They had that game in hand at 14-0.
Yeah.
Um, Texas A&M took that ball, made a 96, 97 yard fumble recovery, and took it the other way with two defensive players.
That was
And
gut
then, but
wrenching.
but Arkansas, even in spite of all that, now Jason, think about it. All this happened, and their offense got shut down. Couldn't move the ball after that unfortunate play, and they drove the field. Were in position to win the ball game.
Yep.
And so you have to think that they're a resilient group. They're in the Western Division. This is against a Western Division opponent, Alabama. They're going to have a good effort because Jason, what I've learned just watching it through the years, they don't want to get embarrassed. So there's some fear, either
Yes, most
subconsciously or
definitely is.
consciously.
Yeah.
They're going to give their best effort, and they're going to be attentive and more focused normally. Now, you've seen it the other way where they get so excited and nervous. They fumble the ball, they miss extra points, they drop
Mhm.
passes, they uh, forget their assignments. But I don't think so. Sam Pittman, he's a good football coach. He's done very well with Arkansas program. I think they're fortunate to have him. I think he fits perfectly with
Yes,
that
he
program.
does.
I like Coach Pittman. He brought in some very good, talented players, and he's always got a good offensive line, which bodes well, Jason, when you're playing against Alabama, because
Mhm.
if you can get some drives, you're keeping that talented offense or the talented quarterback anyway for Alabama on the sideline. So that's a good defense. Your offensive line is a good defense. I think if you have a quarterback and an offensive line, you've given yourself a chance to win football games.
And let's look at the offensive side here just a second, like we were just talking, like you're just talking about there. And how does Will Anderson Jr. is going to see 2 to 3 offensive linemen
Right.
variation with a tight end, a running back, chipping as well.
Yes.
With the Arkansas rushing attack, you kind of want to wonder if he's going to be more of a multiple set versus either going to be a
I,
defensive end on either side. You want to see if he's going to be moving
right.
from side to side or if he's going to be even a spy.
Right. Yeah, you have to test that out initially. I've always liked to see the offensive coordinator script 10 plays, run those all week
Mm-hmm.
and run them and with a purpose to try to find out a few things about the defensive backfield,
Yeah.
about a star defensive linebacker slash defensive end like Will Anderson Jr. I think sometime he's going to be coming off that edge, right? I think I run some screens his way, get him a little bit tired. I
Yeah.
run a couple of screens on that side. Do you make some yards? Maybe you make some yards, maybe not. But you're just getting him a little winded, saying, all right, this is not going to be as easy as I thought. They're throwing over my head. I'm putting all this energy into coming
Yeah.
towards the quarterback. He's getting rid of the ball fast, and then I'd try to run at him too. See what happens if I run directly at him because those types of players, Jason, you are going the opposite direction. They'll catch you from behind.
Most definitely every time. His
Yeah.
speed is elite. And I think that we're going to see a really good chess match between Pete Golding and Kendall Briles this game.
Oh
And
yes.
you're going to see multiple decisions being made where they're going to change some things up, probably quarter by quarter and sometimes series after series to see
I think
exactly
so.
what they're seeing. And with KJ's had a little bit of ineffectiveness with passing the football. They have had some great big plays as far
Yes.
as chunk plays go, but we haven't really seen KJ pressured in the pocket with like what he's about to see with Alabama.
Right.
My intrigue with this matchup is how well is he going to be able to keep his feet level and being able to throw off that front foot instead of that back foot where
Right.
you see a lot of passes be intercepted.
Yeah. That he has to maintain his technique, solid technique, as you explained. I know Bill Walsh was a big proponent of watching the quarterback's feet when he was looking at uh, prospects.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't so much the arm. Everybody thinks, oh, he's got a strong arm. Yeah, that's great, but they don't call many 60-yard plays. They want to know if you can complete the 25-yard pass. Do you have some touch? Do you have, accuracy? Do you have pocket presence? Do you feel pressure? Can you elude pressure? Can you make some yards? He's excellent running the ball down the field. And he's powerful. I just don't like to see a quarterback become the focal point of the running game too. I don't want to see my quarterback with more carries, even though they're talented. I
Correct.
mean,
Yeah.
I have. It's not against saying that they can't make yardage, but I don't want to see them get beat up over time. And why am I recruiting all these 5-star running backs if my quarterback has the football? I mean, it just lends itself to a situation where everybody's not happy.
Yep.
I want my quarterback in throwing from that pocket. If he scrambles, I want those eyes looking forward. I want that head swiveling and looking for the openings. I want my receivers to be, to react, and the tight end always ready. I think everybody likes a tight end. If you watch the game of football, something about the tight end. He's big, he's tall usually, and he can rumble with the football. But I like to have a combination of my quarterback gets it to the tight end every game, some form or fashion.
And you know, with that being said, Arkansas has thrown it to the tight ends a good chunk of this season so far. And Trey Knox leads Arkansas with 11, or I'm sorry, leads tight ends with 11 catches. He's third on the team. And he's got
Right.
2 touchdowns. You kind of wonder where the production is going to be spread out and kind of where the defensive backs are going to give him too. So give me a couple of keys to an Alabama victory for the road team coming into Arkansas on Saturday.
Right. For Alabama, like I say, Bryce Young is extremely accurate. Can the receivers catch his passes? They also have a couple running backs that are fast. They're not the biggest running backs. I don't think they have a running back, let's say, as powerful as Sanders of Arkansas. They're more dependent upon finesse and speed. We all know that Jahmyr Gibbs, the transfer from Georgia Tech, the only thing that's sad about him is you can't put him at wide receiver because because he looks to be the most elusive at
Yeah.
this point. You could do certain things with your running back, as we all know, but Jason McClellan, Jahmyr Gibbs, fast, can catch the football, both of them, quick hitters. So Alabama, the offensive line, can they protect Bryce Young? Um, are they solid in the kicking game? Alabama, Jason, I don't think they've given up a touchdown via the pass as of yet.
I
So, the,
I think that them, Florida, I'm not sorry, Florida, but them, Kentucky, and Georgia, I think are the only three in the SEC that have not given up a passing touchdown so far
yeah,
this season.
right. Now they'll give up some plays because if I'm Arkansas, I'm getting the ball downfield on some of those one-on-ones. You have it, like I say, Hazelwood's a big receiver. You have a good tight end. You have some other receivers with some height. I'm testing Alabama's defensive backfield. But so just tackle well in space in this day and age. Get to the quarterback. No turnovers. Make all your kicks, like I say, from 45 in if you get the opportunity. Make all your extra points. Have a good punting. Let's say 40 plus yards. Have the height. Have the location. Uh, good special teams. Those are the things. If you're solid in all those areas, you're going to have a very good chance to win the game and get the ball to the people have been the most successful, Jason, that day. That day.
Yeah.
Not necessarily the past games, but if you see somebody that's hot for whatever reason, I don't know,
Get
you're
it to
not
the hot
guarding that
hand.
person, or they're for some reason they're not focused in on that running back going a certain way. Get it to that person that day.
Most definitely. So, can I get a final score for from you for the game?
Yeah, let me see, Jason. I'm thinking that Arkansas and Alabama last year was 42-35. I think that Alabama, they're getting into a groove now with some of these receivers. I think they'll score in the 30s. I'm going to say the low 30s. And I think Arkansas can be right behind them in that high 20, um, low 30s, right near them, maybe field goal. But like I said, it's a 17 and a half point game. I'm going to be surprised if Arkansas gets beat by double digits. I really am. I think it's going to be less than double digits.
Yeah, I think the wise guys are a little off on this one. I don't think that it's going to be that much of a disparaging difference
Yeah.
between the two. I think it's going to come down to, like you said, the kicking game again. Um, I thought that Arkansas would win last week 33-30 in a close one. I think this is going to be close as well. I think
Yeah.
that I think I'm going to homer out a little bit here. I'm going to homer out. I think that it's going to be Arkansas 34-31 over Alabama. I
Oh,
think that
yeah.
they break the streak this year.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. And I would say this, and it's all predicated on the turnovers, right? If somebody
Yep.
has three turnovers, I mean, it's going to be hard to win. I think for either team, they're just not. I mean, Alabama is very good, but I don't think they're that superior to Arkansas where they can withstand three turnovers or a pick six or a punt return or a combination of those two. That's 14 points. I don't know if they can overcome that. And once they get the crowd going in Fayetteville, they're loud, they're very supportive,
Mm-hmm.
and they have a good football team and they have a good, excellent program with their coach.
Most definitely. Well, AP, where are you going to be this week?
Yeah, this week I'm going to Auburn to see the Tigers again. I was at the Missouri Tigers, Auburn
Mhm.
Tigers, and I'll be at the LSU Tigers, Auburn Tigers. Now, I think if I had a chance and I had a game to pick up, I wasn't going to be at Alabama or Arkansas. I think that I would be at that Kentucky versus Ole Miss game.
That's going to be a really intriguing matchup this weekend.
Yeah, yeah. So I'll be at the LSU Tigers. They're coming along with that offense now. Jane Daniels, you could see him getting comfortable
Yep.
after coming over from Arizona State. Butte, I think, is supposed to be back. They're excellent wide receiver. The running backs are all healthy, I think. And Brian Kelly's system is gelling much better than that first game. They were off kilter that first game for sure. I was at that game,
Mm-hmm.
LSU and Florida State, and Auburn. They are struggling mightily at the quarterback position and offensively. They don't have a lot of people. They don't have anybody on the perimeter that can change the game. They have to methodically move down the field, and they're making mistakes And defensively, I think over time that you can't withstand so many minutes on the